Hello and welcome back to Emberclaw Industrial Dawn and of course to RimWorld. Now we do have a couple of new mods coming in and a couple of mods going out. That is Nilo's Quality of Life mod, which actually adds Priority Treatment Resurrected and Select Similar, so they are both leaving. It adds quite a lot. I would recommend downloading it and checking it out. There are a ton of options. You can turn absolutely everything off. Fantastic quality of life mod overall. And we're also adding advanced bridges and corners because honestly I miss my heavy bridges and I do not like how we are dealing with the bridge situation on the bottom left corner of our base. I would like to get that moved. That is, however, going to require some research. This screen has also changed from Nilo's mod a little bit. Just organize things a little bit better, but we do need to go for advanced bridge building. We can also queue things up now, which is so delightful. So I'm going to add that to the queue immediately, and as soon as that is done, we will go ahead and fix this mess down here. But one thing that I definitely need to look at is our potatoes, because these were meant to be corn. So I'm going to switch that over real quick. That should be fine. And otherwise, we're doing okay. There's not really a lot that I want to get done. We can, however, go ahead and finally assign this bed to be both dragon and layfield, because we did convert layfield in the previous episode. Dragon should be working on converting medic, which is fantastic. I need, honestly, a little bit more steel as well, because I recently found out, thanks to you guys in the comments, that hidden conduits do not ever become the target of the Z event. I don't know how. I mean, yeah, onomatopoeia, right? So these can't be targeted by the Z event. So we should go ahead and eventually replace all of our conduits with these, and that should help us out in the long run as well. I'm not going to do that straight away because, you know, we've got a couple of things going on. One thing I would like to upgrade straight away, though, is now that we have 2,000 steel laying around, I would love to be able to get some more tool cabinets in here. And if I place them like so, each of these benches will receive 2 tool cabinets, which is going to be so very nice. I'm going to let them get on with that for a little bit. They'll plant that corn rather than those potatoes, and we should be good to go. All right, March currently has inspired surgery, and that just makes me want to check on all of our pawns, see if any of them require surgery or any particular things. So you have an old gunshot on your left lung. We could potentially replace that with one of our prisoners' lungs. Probably not, though. You have a right middle finger that's been torn off. Not much we can do about that. Everyone else is generally okay. You, however, do have asthma in your both lungs, and I'm curious whether or not we could go ahead and harvest Owl's lungs and replace them in Hanaz, right? Because you know, I would prefer someone to not have asthma. So I don't actually know if that works. I don't know if we'd need to replace the entire lung or both sides of it, but since we have inspired surgery on Marchment, let's go ahead and find out. I'm going to queue Marchment up for surgery. Actually, I'd rather it be successful on the implant rather than the explant. So I'm going to queue this up with layfield. I would still like it to be successful. So Owl, I apologize, but I am going to go ahead and take your left lung first. And I hope you don't mind too much about it. So that is going to be that. Marchment is going to... nope, that's not what I want. Missing 1 medicine? That should not be the case. We have plenty of herbal medicine. They should be able to do that, right? Unless it's because they're not actually carrying any in their inventory. If we swap these over to... So Marchment and... Was it Layfield? Who are my doctors? Let me just check. Yeah, Marchment and Layfield. If I assign you guys to both have 2 herbal medicine, will that work? Cannot harvest a left lung, missing 1 medicine. Well, that sucks. That really sucks. I just assumed that I could do this with any type of medicine. I mean, they're on herbal medicine or worse only, so let's try queuing it up again. Maybe now that they have medicine in their inventory, it will work. But no, it appears that that is not the case. If you guys know why that is not working for me, I would love to know. Can I do it on anyone else? Like if I try and do that on Hanaz, harvest liver, and grab Layfield. Nope, can't do that either. I will go ahead and remove that just in case that I forget. But okay, I guess that is not happening then. Well, that's a shame. One other thing that I do want to go ahead and do is just run around the map real quick and select any of these veins of steel that I haven't yet selected and go ahead and get them mined out. Eventually, we'll probably strip mine this entire thing, and most of this. I want to stay away from that ancient danger for just a little bit longer. But yeah, I would like to get these all queued up so that we can go ahead and actually have a little bit more steel at our fingertips, which will be absolutely fantastic. So I'm going to continue on with the time lapse for the moment, and we will come back from there. Precision rifling is officially complete. We are going to start working on advanced bridge building, but that does mean we can go ahead and actually finally queue up some decent weapons. So for starters, I'm going to make a single sniper rifle, and I'm going to say 2 assault rifles for now. We don't really have the components to make any more. These each take 7, which is a little bit unfortunate, but we can give it to our best shooters, and that should definitely help us out when we face any enemies that come our way. The one thing I'm really excited about is those advanced bridges, and just to show you how they sort of work, we do actually unlock a little without any technology, and that is just these basic bridges here, but we can go ahead and throw them down just the same we would anything else, but the heavy ones are going to allow us to, you know, build walls on top of the water, which is going to be fantastic. But I did want to throw a bridge down here anyway, so figured I may as well show you what they actually look like. Group of alpacas want to join, and the question is, do we want alpacas at all? We already have pigs. I don't believe alpacas are pack animals, but they may be. A medium-sized ungulate closely related to the llama. Insulating wool. Alpacas have also been used as pack animals. Okay, so they are technically pack animals. I'm tempted. I don't know how much they can carry. They do give us wool, which is fine. I actually wouldn't mind that because I have a plan for our leathers and our wool a little bit later on. They can't be trained, which I kind of actually enjoy because that means they're going to stay in here and eat this hayfield rather than, you know, wander around our base and get high on ambrosia and drink our beer. So that's not too bad. I think I might just let them stay. We will, of course, go into our auto-slaughter and make sure that they are, in fact, being auto-slaughtered. So I would like 1 male adult, 3 males total, 2 female adults, and 4 females total. You can go ahead and slaughter any pregnant ones. That will be absolutely fine. All right, advanced bridge building is complete, which means we can actually start working on this. Now, the question is, where is this path meant to go? I could copy it from up here and sort of figure it out that way, or I could go ahead and extend this plan up to the corner here, just so that I have it, and then go ahead and actually redraw my circle, just to make sure that it is actually perfect. Now, that is going to draw everything else back in, but I'm okay with that. I can eventually hide it. I will go ahead and shrink this down though, because we don't need that marker. I may leave that corner there just in case we decide to use it again in the future. But this is where we want our bridge to go. So we can deconstruct anything. Actually, I'm going to keep those for the moment. I will just deconstruct the new bridge part as well as this wall. That way we still have a little bit of defense while we are getting this built. So I'll get this switched over real quick and we'll come back from there. All right, as we were working on that, we did end up recruiting Hanaz. So let's go ahead and have a look at what they are all about. If we jump into their bio, they are iron-willed and kind. They are mostly a shooter with a decent amount of melee skill. They're artistic, so they're probably going to be mostly hauling things for us, and that is absolutely okay. A great thing about the new mod that I did install, Nilo's quality of life is it automatically copies over their schedule, which is fantastic. I believe there's also an option to do smart working stuff in here. I'm not going to use that because I quite enjoy doing this manually anyway. But yeah, that is going to be mostly their schedule. I guess I can add wardening and, well, no, you probably will never do hunting. We can go ahead and add art though. Let's go ahead and add art, put them up to priority 4 there, priority 5 there, and that should honestly be fine. If you've got any time left over after that, you can actually go ahead and help with growing. No, I changed my mind. I changed my mind. They're going to do art. They're going to do deliver, haul, and clean, and then I would love for them to level up their mining skill. But that's not going to work very well. If they're hauling and cleaning, they're going to mine a singular thing and then immediately start to haul it. I don't like that. So I'm going to give this priority 4. We'll slowly level them up in mining, and then these can all go back up to priority 5. I think that is okay. They can warden at priority level 6. I imagine that will never actually happen. No, let's just get rid of it so I don't confuse myself later on. And I think that is going to be just fine. So we'll leave it at that for the moment, and we'll continue working on this bridge. But we do have to choose a new research, and I think I would like, honestly, Psychite brewing, because we're getting a little bit of mood problems in this colony. Not too many, but you know, drugs are always fun. So let's go ahead and do that. That way we can make some Psychite tea, and of course, in order to do so, we will have to go ahead and add a growing zone for that. So let's add that in real quick. Gonna be just straight up here, nice and simple. I'm not going to make it too big. And that will be psychoid plants. Absolutely perfect. And then, just in case I forget later on, I will add the bill. No, I can't, because we need to finish that research first. Okay, we're going to finish off this bridge. All right, we have a visitor coming through. They are right up here, and that may be a problem because we also have some rhinoceros on the map. I'm going to say everyone go to the safe zone for the moment because, you know, I don't want bad things to happen. Hopefully this guy comes inside before these rhinoceroses get too close to them. Yeah, come on, get inside. Get inside. And then I think it's about time we go ahead and draft everybody up. I do have that sniper rifle available to me, but, you know, I haven't actually built it yet. So that is what it is. Let's get these guys in here, and hopefully they can take these guys out before anything too bad happens. And they're all dead. I forgot that I had the smoke launcher still equipped. All right, they're all down. That'll be a nice chunk of meat for us. We can go ahead and undraft, and let's get this sniper rifle, which is of excellent quality, I believe is blue. Let's get that on our best shooter, which is going to be Matthew. All right, and then I will probably go ahead and throw a pump shotgun on Hanaz for the moment. That one is bio-coded. Let's get the other one on there. And Ruben can hold on to the smoke launcher for the moment. I will probably forget about it. Enemies? No. Okay, we're still fine. And let's get someone trading with this trader. Another thing that Nilo's quality of life mod adds is when you select the trader, you can go ahead and select your best negotiator and then either say trade with Hump's trader or trade with best pawn Layfield, which is the same. That's what we've got selected at the moment anyway. So we'll get them trading, see if they have anything worthwhile. It does not look like they do, but we can still make a little bit of money off them. They only have 183, so let's just start off with all of our junk that we do not want, and that is about all you can afford. Now, I'm going to give you that as well, just because it's not worth all that much, and that'll get us 183 silver, which I am very happy to take off your hands, my good friend. Perfect. This area also had a roof on it for some reason. I don't know why, so let's go ahead and fix that as well. Remove roof area. Just this little section here, please. I know I don't have to be accurate with that, but, you know, it is what it is. I also hate the way this bridge looks. I'm not going to lie, I hate the way it looks. I am 100% going to remove that. Now, these need to be removed with the deconstruct tool, not the remove bridges tool. So keep that in mind. I will go ahead and replace it. I think I'm going to replace it with the heavy bridge because that looked okay to me. So I'll let them get working on that and we will come back. We have a transport pod crash. Is this someone we want? They have Iron Willed and Beautiful actually is quite fantastic. They have a little bit of plant skill, a little bit of construction skill, and a little bit of melee skill. I would definitely not mind having another melee pawn. I don't think I will go ahead and, you know, capture this one by force, though. They are... Who are they? They're independent space refugees. So we could actually keep them and not... Yeah, capture. That's not going to anger anyone. I will go ahead and capture you because you are a beautiful pawn, my friend. I desperately need some more pawns with construction skills, so you are going to be a welcome addition to the crew. Dragon is going to go down and grab you. You're bleeding out in 21 hours, so that is absolutely fine. We have grabbed you before you started healing yourself, and Psychoid Brewing is officially complete. We'll pause the game there, and I think next, I want to work towards the multi-analyzer and fabrication, but I also would love to have medicine production up and running. I don't know. I think I'm gonna beeline for the fabrication. I think I will. Let's go ahead and add those both to the queue, get those started, and we'll come back from there. We also have a couple of assault rifles that we can go ahead and give to our pawns, so I'm going to sort by shooting. I am going to give one to Marchment and one to Ruben. That is going to unequip the smoke launcher. I'm okay with that. We can just equip that whenever we need it. I probably will go ahead and give this machine pistol to Hanaz. Apparently that is... No, it's not. Yeah, I was going to say, that is definitely not a biocoded thing. And then everyone else is kind of terrible, so maybe we just make one more assault rifle for the moment for Hanaz and call that good there. I think that is the best choice. We only have 18 components. Are we still mining any? That is my question. If we have a look for compacted machinery... There is only one left up here. Okay, so maybe we won't make that assault rifle just yet. We'll stick with 2. I think that'll be okay. And then once we get fabrication unlocked, we can potentially equip everyone with some better weaponry. I think it's about time we retire the old research benches. I will cancel deconstruction on that. Instead, I will just reinstall it 2 away from the wall and right about there, as we will go ahead and throw another steel high-tech research bench up here. That is going to cost me 10 components, but I think it's going to be worth it. So we will go ahead and do that as soon as possible, just to get this research sped up just that little bit more. I swear this game is listening to me. Thank you for the free components. I appreciate that. I think since we don't have a lot going on construction-wise at the moment, now is the perfect time to go ahead and upgrade all of our conduits with hidden conduits. So I will slowly work my way through this. I'm going to sort of do it one section at a time because they do deconstruct everything first rather than upgrading it. And it's going to slowly turn power on and off from our base. So that is going to be a little bit annoying. Everything is now disconnected, but that is okay. Dragon is pretty quick on the construction, so he should be able to make pretty quick work of this. She should be able to make pretty quick work of this. Of course, we do have a prison break. That's annoying. Dragon is all the way down here. I think they can probably make it up here in time. Another thing that Nilo's mod does is it makes it so they can't randomly open any door in your base, just the prison doors. I think I would rather attack Tim. I don't really care if Al gets out, but we may have to recruit someone else to go ahead and help out with that. Reefing Medic, can you go ahead and start shooting at them, please? Alright, Al is running towards Dragon, so Medic can now be undrafted. Dragon, can you... There you go. Alright, 1 is down. Let's get you down. Someone should be going to capture you. If they are not, I will do that manually. Who is close by? Ilarius, go ahead and capture Tim, please. Tim is bleeding out in 2 hours, so they should be absolutely fine. And Dragon is slowly working their way through Al. Let's get them captured, and that should be absolutely fantastic. Al has gotten sick from an infection. They might die to that. We did tend it with a quality of 42. Let's see if we are catching up or not. It looks like we are just, so they might be okay. Tim has also gotten sick from an infection, which is fantastic. Let's go ahead and get Layfield, I believe, has medical skill. Yeah. Oh, this is reserved by Marchment already, so Marchment should be on their way to deal with Tim. And Al has gotten sick from another infection? Well, that's rude. That is really rude. We have cargo pods coming in. Let's have a look at Tim. I think you'll be okay. Just barely. And Al, yeah, you're going to be absolutely fine. Tim should be okay. All right, what are these cargo pods got for us? It looks like some bluefur. We'll go ahead and allow that. And oh, apparently that crashed into our walls. Fantastic. And we have a heat wave. I don't think our fridge is going to be able to keep up with this. Yeah, it's already struggling. So let's very quickly go ahead and get a third cooler in here. I will go ahead and get Dragon to prioritize that so that this happens as quickly as possible. But yeah, it's getting warm in our fridge, which is definitely something we don't want. I will go ahead and set this to be -6 as well. These two are at -7, so this one should kick on and off as it is needed, but it is already starting to re-cool down in there, which is fantastic. Layfield proposed a lifelong commitment to Dragon. Dragon rejected the proposal. That is not good. Are they still, lovers? Yes, they are. So they're still of good opinions of each other, which is good, but they are not getting married anytime soon. We also have an opportunity to do a kindling day, but that is going to require a leader, which we haven't actually assigned yet, and I would like to go ahead and give that honor to Layfield. We are going to come in here, begin role change, and Layfield, I would like you to be the new leader of the Emberclaw Clan. Go ahead and confirm that. Everyone will come in here, grab their Emberclaw Clan pint glasses, and begin working on that conversion. Fantastic. Now with that done, we can begin Kindling Day with a 96% expected quality. Just because we don't have 10 people, that is the only thing holding this back from being 100%, and we'll go ahead and begin that as well. And with that, we have an unforgettable Kindling Day, giving everyone +8 mood for 6 days. We gain 20 goodwill with the Wege Alliance, and we can officially reform our ideology. Now, I have thought about this a little bit, and I would like to go ahead and do that. I would like to give them, where is it? I would like to give them High Life. I feel like this is the natural next step for this clan. They've gotten a little bit of luxury in their lives. They've started working towards beer. Psychite is growing nearby. It only makes sense. So we are going to do that. That is going to mean drug use is essential. We're not going to change anything else other than adding a plants specialist. And I do need to come up with a name for them. All right, so they are going to be the Flame Grove Keeper. And they are not going to have any preferred apparel. That is going to be absolutely okay. That is saved before I got to check anything else. Apparently, flop hats are now preferred. Thankfully, that is relaxed, and they just get a bonus if they are wearing one. We'll probably never wear that. I didn't mean to add that in, but that is what it is. And now we need to figure out who that plant specialist is going to be. And I think there's really only one option, and that is, of course, Marchment. They aren't really doing anything else anyway. They're cutting a little bit of stone every now and then, and they're helping to deliver haul and clean. They're doing a little bit of research, which I actually think they can still do once we give them this role. But let's jump in here, assign the role of Flame Grove Keeper, and that will be particularly lovely. All right, that is done. If we jump back into the work tab now, Marchment can no longer do a whole bunch of things, but they can, thankfully, still deliver haul and clean, still do research. The only thing they can no longer do that they could do before is cut stone, and I think they were doing a little bit of mining as well, but that is okay by me. I'm going to assign them to level 1 surgery as well, just so that we have our best surgeons on the job at all times. Fantastic. In terms of what that gives them, I don't remember. They get plant work speed plus 70% and harvest yield plus 30%, so that's going to be Fantastic. All right, we also need to go ahead and set up our Psychite because I never went ahead and did that. So I'm going to say do that until you have, I don't know, like 100 Psychite tea. That should be absolutely okay. And I want to go into my drug policies as well, change these a little bit around. So this is safe dose every 1 day, and I don't care what your mood is. Smoke leaf joint is safe every 2 days, and I don't care what your mood is. Ambrosia is safe every 1.6 days, and I don't really care what your mood is there either. And Psychite tea is safe for every 2 days, and I don't care what your mood is. So they should all take drugs on a pretty set schedule at this point, and I think that is going to be fantastic. With all of these new crops growing though, and the harvest yield that we're getting from our plant specialist, I think we should probably go ahead and upgrade our storage in the fridge because it is starting to fill up. And I honestly just don't want to think about it that much. So I'm going to get all of those, link them together, and that should be fantastic. Gupik wants to talk with us in a nearby location, and I'm tempted to go and talk to them. They're not that far away. How is our leader doing? Layfield is currently relatively happy. They need to eat, but that's okay. We can absolutely get away with that. So let's jump into the world tab and send a caravan to the Peace Talks. I am just going to send Layfield, who is our leader. They only have a revolver, so maybe they should have like a bodyguard of some description. Marchment, I don't want to send. Matthew, what are you generally doing? Mining, cooking. Okay, you're cooking. That's probably not someone I want to send either. Ruben, yeah, you can go. You're staggeringly ugly, so that's probably gonna not go so well. Okay, I'll just send Layfield, see how it goes. Hopefully nothing bad happens, and let's send a little bit more things. You can take, I don't know, 3 herbal medicine. That'll be fine. These simple meals are deteriorating in less than a day, which is not ideal. But let's give them like 4 days worth of food. It's going to rot in 2.3, but I'm okay with that. And we'll send them on their way. Thankfully, in the 1.6 update, this has been improved dramatically. They are going to grab whatever they need, which apparently was something over there, something in the fridge, and some medicine, and head straight on out. It is so much faster to form a caravan now, and I absolutely love that. So we'll go over to those peace talks, see how they turn out, and then bring Layfield right on home. Peace talks were a success. Relations have improved by 66, and Layfield gained 6,000 experience, which is, you know, just fantastic. We're going to bring them on home. If we have a look in here, who were they actually talking to? These guys. So we're now still hostile, but it's minus 34 instead of, wow, natural goodwill is minus 190. That's rough. But yeah, they are now at minus 34. That will slowly deteriorate over time, but hopefully we can at least get them on our good sides a little bit better. These guys really don't want to stay in prison. I may have to cut Owl's legs off at some point very, very soon. Dragon, sorry, can you wake up? We have a prison break happening again. They're going out this way? Okay. Tim's going the other way. That is annoying. Okay. Dragon, can you just work on Tim, please? Tim should go down a little bit easier than Owl will. And you are officially out. At this stage, Owl, you know, we've gotten so much blood from you. We have 30 hemogen packs. I'm just going to let you go. I am just going to let you go. You broke out of my door. It is what it is. See you later, old friend. But I will go ahead and get Tim captured and back in bed. Are you still okay? Yeah, permanent crack in your spine is not great. But, you know, you'll be fine. Bleeding to death in 2 hours. Someone should be going to tend. Yes, absolutely they are. Fantastic. How is your thing going? You are still not recruited. 79% is not great. Dragon is still working on medic, which medic is at 17%, so that should happen relatively quickly. Then we can switch Dragon over to converting Tim and getting them recruited and part of the clan. Oh no. Oh no. Matthew asked Marchment for a break. They're no longer in a relationship. Matthew will change his last name back to his birth name. Did they actually change it in the first place? Matthew Gregory. Okay, that is definitely not your name. What was your name before that? I think it was just Matthew R, right? Well, let's jump into social. This menu is broken. Hold on. Let me fix this real quick and I'll come back. Okay, that's better. So let's go ahead and change this back to Matthew R. I don't know why that changed. I guess, what is my ideology? I thought they always kept their names. Yeah, marriages keep names. So I don't know why that decided to change back. But Matthew is now the ex-wife of Marchment. And did Marchment's last name changed? No, it's just still Marchment. Perfect. All right. That will require them getting new beds, though. Marchment already moved on their own, it looks like. I don't see where to, though. That is assigned to, yeah, Matthew. Where is Marchment's bed? Maybe they just didn't get assigned. Okay. Let's go ahead and get Marchment in there and Matthew in... Nope, Matthew is still assigned to a bed. Okay, they're assigned to that one. Weird. Okay, that's fine. We'll assign them there. Confusion. Alpaca 1 is confused. Artery blockage. Why are you... Okay, you have dementia. And you're pregnant. Okay, llama. You do you. You do you. Alpaca, I should say. I apologize. That's very sad to hear. Our first couple has officially gotten divorced. What a shame. All right, we have our first breaching raid. They are from the mech hive, so let's have a look at what we're dealing with here. Looks like we have a couple of scythers, pikemen, termite. You have a thump cannon, which has a decent range, but not too bad. Concussive bomb that is extremely effective against walls and structures. And you have a scyther, which doesn't have any weapons either, so that's good. You do have a needle gun, which has pretty decent range as well. But these guys honestly should be pretty easy to take out, especially now that we've got a sniper rifle and some assault weapons. Let's draft everyone up and get them down here. I might even be able to attack these guys before they get inside my walls. So let's spread them out, something like so, and see how we do. I understand that we're not going to have a lot of cover here, but I think this might be okay. I could actually even get them in here, but I think for right now, I'll just get everyone to shoot at this front guy. Dragon, stop what you're doing. I appreciate your enthusiasm, but please don't do that. All right, first one is down. The next one we need to worry about is this pikeman. Now, we could rush with Dragon, and that's probably not a terrible idea, but since everyone else is melee except for you. Okay, let's then do a wall strat. Let's get you guys back in here. Something like that. Dragon can come in here, and we can hold that open. Ruben is still coming in, and he's going to wander outside if we don't do anything about it. You have pretty good range, but hopefully you'll come up a little bit closer before anything bad happens, and we can start shooting these guys down. So let's get these guys a little bit closer in, something like that. Where are you going? All right, at least we can get a couple of shots on this guy. Let's see if we can take them out first. All right, now that we've got a Scyther attacking Dragon, we should probably focus our fire a little bit more on the melee pawns. And honestly, this shouldn't be too much of a problem. Dragon is taking a little bit of damage, but overall, not too bad. They have a bruise on their leg that is actually from a previous injury. Can you please not go out there right now? Flannel, I appreciate the enthusiasm, but can you please just stay in the safe zone for the moment? Wow, you are slow. Come on over. All right, they're all down. Now we can probably go ahead and actually rush this guy. Let's get everyone out a little bit closer so they have nice shots. Dragon is going to come in. That should disable their gun. Perfect. Everyone come a little bit closer because I don't want a friendly fire on Dragon. And they are down. Perfect. Our first mech raid coming in from the side of the map, officially taken down. Hanaz, I don't know what you're even doing out here, my guy. Let's go ahead and get everyone undrafted. We really didn't take very much damage at all. Nanan might have taken a quick shot to the right arm. But otherwise, fantastic. I love it. Medic, draft, come hold this door. Or unhold this door, please, before I forget. And then undraft. Fantastic. Now, do we actually have anywhere to move these mechanoids to? Did I ever set up shredding? No, I did not. So let's put that right at the top. We'll say do shred mechanoid forever. Are these empty? Yeah, they are. Let's go ahead and clear all on them and say corpses, mechanoid corpses can go in here. Friendly mech corpses can go in there as well. Yeah, sure, why not? And then, okay, they're linked. That is unfortunate. Let's go ahead and unlink these. These two should have chem fuel. Clear all, chem fuel, and these two should then be linked. Storage, clear all, mech, corpse. Right about there. Perfect. Mechanoid corpse. Perfect. Multi-analyzer is finished, just as we were working on all of our electrical things. I think I'm just going to jump straight into it, go for fabrication next. That is going to require us to actually get the multi-analyzers up and running. Now, that is going to be a problem because we do not have 50 plasteel stored. So that's not going to work just yet, but I will go ahead and place both of them down. We'll get all of the ingredients we can in them. And then I guess we have to choose a different research to go for. We could start working on deep drilling and, you know, long-range mineral scanning. Oh, not long-range, ground penetrating scanning. Or we could jump all the way back, start working on drug production, which will allow us to unlock medicine production. And I think that is the way that I want to go. So I'm going to go for that first and then queue up medicine production after that. We have a caravan approaching with a war merchant, and that brings me to another thing that we have from Nilo's mod, which is going to be spots, and specifically the trader spot. I'm going to throw that right down there just so that they do come in and actually use that. Also, this needs to be reconnected because the connection there is super wild. Let's that's reserved by Marchment. Fantastic. Yeah, prioritize constructing that, please. And that should hopefully mean that our traders come in and actually gather around here, because I've noticed some strange behaviors with our traders gathering outside our walls, which makes me not realize that they're there, and that is just generally a bad idea. So it looks like the trader is going the long way around, but that is okay. Let's go ahead and start trading with you. Finish whatever you're doing first, and that will be fantastic. All right, and we can finally see the effects of our beer. We can go sell affordable. That's going to sell them 60 beer, take all of their money, and we can see whether or not there's anything we actually want from here. I don't believe there is, so we're going to accept that and take our profits, as well as getting rid of any junk that they might have been willing to take. Drug production is now up and online, so we can go ahead and get ourselves the drug lab. Now, this wants to be in a laboratory. Is that realistically going to happen, or are we going to stick it in the kitchen? This is a workshop, so that's probably not ideal. I honestly think we are just going to stick this in the kitchen and call it good enough. We are going to get a little bit of a slowdown on that, but I'm okay with it. As long as this doesn't override the fact that this is a kitchen, I will be happy. Now, in terms of our next research, that is going to be medicine production, which is going to be fantastic. But we'll start off with that drug lab. I don't know if there's anything we can actually build in it yet, but that is okay. So right now, the only thing we can make in here is smoke leaf, and honestly, I would like to do that as well. We did just take high life, so having a little bit of smoke leaf lying around is probably not a bad idea. I'm going to set that to 100, and I will go ahead and add a brand new growing zone right over here that is going to be dedicated to planting smoke leaf. Fantastic. We'll get smoke leaf plant planted in there, and then we can start that production. Now, that did turn this into a laboratory. So I believe I can overwrite that by just having another electric stove in here. I think that'll be okay. And that way, if we have 2 people that are wanting to cook, we can absolutely do so. I'll just go ahead and copy the bills from in here and paste them over there. Now, we aren't making any Psychite yet. That's because this is not yet grown, but it should happen relatively quickly. And that should be absolutely amazing. And it's still a laboratory. These are getting 20% because they are technically not in a kitchen. I could also wall this in. That's a little bit annoying. Is there anything we can add to make this more kitchen? Does this help? I don't think it does. I think this turns it into a workshop even further. Production. I don't think there's anything else in here that wants to be in a kitchen. All of these actually want to be in a workshop. That's a little bit of a bug with the game. Yeah, okay. Maybe we take the 20% work penalty to our food then. I don't love that. Maybe we move this at some point or wall it in or do something else. I mean, we could pretty easily wall it in, but I like the idea of having this open kitchen. Oh well, it is what it is. Alright, medicine production is up and online. I will quickly just go ahead and add that in here, even though we can't actually make any yet. I would like to keep 50 medicine on stock at all times, and whenever we see neutroamine, that's how I'm going to say it, I don't know if that's correct, we will go ahead and make some medicine. Now, are we going to have enough cloth to do that? I think so. I think our cloth production is big enough that that will be okay. Yeah, I think it will. I think we're going to be okay with just that. I am really quite annoyed that this is no longer a kitchen. If anyone has any ideas on how I can make this, you know, a kitchen without destroying the entire layout of this room, that would be fantastic. In terms of our next research, honestly, we should probably go for armor because I haven't done that yet and I always put it off too long and then it's too late. So flak armor is somewhere in here, I believe. Flak armor is here. That is going to require plate armor first, so we'll get that done and then we will add flak armor to the queue. Fantastic. Now, before I said I had an idea for the wool and our leathers, and that is to go ahead and start training up Nanan in crafting. They are currently crafting skill level 5. I would like them to be so much higher than that. So we are going to come down here, choose one of these things that only costs 20 fabric or leather. In this instance, I'm just going to do the kids shirt. I'm going to say do forever, clear all, and that is going to be leathers and honestly wools as well. Yeah, that'll absolutely be fine. So if we have any leather or wool laying around, Nanan will come in here because I'm going to set that to be Nanan only and just do that forever. That will be fantastic. That way, we can train up their thing on something that we don't really care about, and then we can sell that product to whoever comes passing by. Or we can take it out on a caravan and sell it there. But that is the plan for Nanan. All of our conduits have now also been upgraded to hidden, which is fantastic, and we get a ship coming in. Its mysterious influence will kill all plants in an expanding circle around itself. Okay, what do we got? Give us a look. Alright, a couple of mechs. This has a radius of 5 for right now. How many weapons are we dealing with here? A couple. I would like to maybe lure these guys in by using our mortars to attack this. How well is this mortar doing? We currently have 20 out of 20 shots. We can go ahead and choose high explosive shells there. Let's go ahead and set a force target on this. That way we can destroy it without getting in danger, and that will lure these mechanoids down into our kill box, and we can go ahead and kill them in here without having too much risk. So we will go ahead and assign Matthew to please man said steel mortar. He should begin firing over here. Hopefully he doesn't miss too many times and we can actually get this thing destroyed. I will speed this up. That's going to wake them all up. I should probably go ahead and say, everyone, please go into the safe zone. That is going to be very important. And if we can hit this at all, that would be amazing. All right, Matthew is starting to get agitated because they haven't eaten, so I will go ahead and clear that prioritized work and say, Ruben, can you please take over? We only have 11 shots left, but this is already down to 400 out of 1200, so 2 more shots should do it, and then these mechanoids should come in and start attacking our base through our kill box. 1 more hit and we're there. And there it is. It is now officially down. We will get ourselves an advanced component from that, a regular component, 10 plasteel, which we desperately need, and some steel. So let's go ahead and allow all of those. Now Ruben can go ahead and clear prioritized work there. Go ahead and get healed up, figure out what you need, probably some food and some sleep. And these guys are going to start wandering their way in. Ruben, I am going to take you for a little bit longer because I would like as much firepower as I can possibly get here. I will set these guys up on this range just because we have... Oh, you have a Tesseron. That doesn't have the biggest range on it though, so we can maybe take you down. And that has... You've got a charge lance. Okay, maybe taking them on from here is not the best idea. Maybe we should do it in this room, but I'm tempted to see what happens. How does your radius look? Yeah, that is too big. Okay, everyone come in here instead then, just before you get shot at, please. We'll lure these guys in. Dragon, can you please hold the door? And everyone else, come to a big pile behind you. Fantastic. Bring you guys up nice and close. And okay, the traps are going to take care of a couple of them apparently. These guys are probably already a little bit damaged because I imagine we did hit them with a couple of the mortar shells. Wow, these guys are just falling to these traps. I did not expect our traps to be able to do so much damage to mechanoids. Really? Health 87%. Like, that's pretty healthy. But you're going to come in here, you're going to hit a trap and instantly die. We still have 1 pikeman left. I mean, he's going to instantly die too, right? So let's just undraft everyone. And assuming nothing absolutely terrible happens, we should be fine. He's at 45% health. This trap should take him out. As soon as it does, we'll go ahead and allow them anywhere on the map so they can go about their day. Where are you going? Okay, you're going to attack a door instead. That I do not like. Let's get everyone drafted and bring them over to here. At least we can shoot them from a little bit of a distance as soon as they come in. They probably will get through this door relatively quickly. Actually, no, they're attacking this wall instead. Interesting. Okay, everyone then come over here. We'll see if we can get this to happen before they break in. Everyone is here. Where is Dragon? Dragon, go ahead and hold that door open so everyone can start shooting. You guys move up a little bit, Nan, and move up to there. Perfect. And they're down. And we didn't lose any infrastructure at all. And I don't have to reclose that door because I never actually held it open in the first place. Fantastic. One thing I didn't think about is the fact that we also unlocked the comms console and the orbital trade beacon, and we should definitely go ahead and get them installed. So honestly, I think there is the best choice for our comms console. This door is going to get replaced with a wall. Unfortunately, we can't replace it without deconstructing it first. That just is what it is. And then in terms of this, I would like it to be, there is the middle. So if we bring that over just enough to cover that entire room, and then just enough to cover that entire part of the room, that should be perfect placement there. And then we can go ahead and add one to the center of each of these, and that'll cover that room. Now, that is not going to include anything in our fridge, which, I mean, we could add one in here, and it may be worthwhile, but I don't think I'm going to worry about it. If we want to sell any of that, we can always sell that to people that come on by naturally. All of our beer is stored in here anyway, so that is our main commodity. I would, however, like to go back into my spots menu and say I would like a drop spot. Honestly, probably right there. That is going to be any deliveries that come from our orbital trade beacon and the comms console. So I think that is an excellent choice. Black armor is officially online as well. Now, I don't remember exactly where I build that. In here. Perfect. So we're already making a bunch of stuff. I no longer want that revolver one. The smoke launcher can go away as well. Snipers and assault rifles are pretty much just going to be paused until we get fabrication online so we can get more components to do that. But I would love flak vests for everyone. Flak pants, yeah. I don't think I want the movement speed penalty from that. So I'm not going to do that. And I also don't want the jacket because that also has a movement speed penalty. The flak vest does as well, but you know, I'm more concerned about covering the torso and the neck with armor than anything else. Flak helmets are also something I'm not going to make just yet because I do not have a supply of plasteel to be able to do that. But at the very least, we can say do until you have 2 flak vests, and that will be fantastic. This is going to be 51% or above, normal to legendary quality. That is going to be assigned to medic only for the moment. I think that's reasonable. Or I could just say only do this if you've got skill level 8 or higher. I think 8's a reasonable cutoff point there. So I'm going to do that. I will move this up above there just a little bit. That can probably be second most important. I would like to keep high explosive shells at the top priority. And I would also like these to be made. Well, they can be made by anyone actually. But the sniper rifles specifically, let's go for 10 and above on both of those weapons. And then in here, the simple helmet can be made with 10 or above as well. That should be fine. As for all of these, yeah, let's go for 8 or above for all of our clothing. That seems like a reasonable cutoff point to me, just to make sure that Nanan isn't doing any of that work until they've trained up enough to have at least 8 skill in that. And I think that is how I'm going to do that. Now we need, of course, another research. We are smashing through the research today, and I don't know what I want. I mean, we could go for sterile materials, we could go for advanced lights, get out a bunch of the, you know, pretty easy ones. We could start deep drilling. Yeah, maybe. You guys let me know what you want to see me research next. For now, I think I will just get a bunch of the easy ones out of the way. So we'll go advanced lights into sterile materials, and then I will also add geothermal power in there as well, because we have a nice generator here that is currently not being used. So with that being said, we will continue on for a little bit longer. Hanaz never got a name. My goodness, I'm slacking. You the only one? Yeah, you are. Bio? That's why I restarted the game and did all of that. Wow, that was silly. You need a name. You are Miranda Tess. Welcome to the clan. Sorry I named you so very late. This time you are not a miner, but you do have a little bit of skill in it. You are mainly shooting and melee and hauling. I hope you are okay with that. Welcome to the clan. If you guys would like to be a part of the clan, go ahead and join as a Golden Panda member or above. Layfield, again, trying to get Dragon, but it's just not working out. In terms of their opinions of each other, you're currently at +9. And Layfield, yeah, +8. They're really not doing so well. I really hope they get married one day, but today is not the day. I also realized that I do have colonists idle, and I'm wondering what they specifically do. So maintain, construct, that makes sense. Mining and drilling is under there. Ruben is cooking, which is interesting to see idle, and Layfield is basically just hauling. So maybe we need to queue up a few more digging jobs. I believe I got all of the compacted things, and never mind. No, I did not. There is a little bit down here. I'm hoping this doesn't open up the ancient danger. It shouldn't. And then we have a little bit up here as well. So I will mine that and mine that vein and mine that vein as well, just in case they are not connected. And that should be good for the moment. And then we will start cracking into some of these mountains. Bunch of kids want some beer. I'm okay with it. I will give 58 beer to the beggars. We have 241 in our possession at the moment anyway, so that should be okay. We've got a flak vest masterwork being crafted by Medic. Absolutely fantastic. How are we doing on those flak vests? Looks like we have a couple, but not too many just yet. We have a whole bunch of kid shirts that are all pretty bad, but that's okay. We don't actually want them. We just want Nanan to train up their skill a little bit with some of the things that we aren't using. And you can see there, this is why we did things. We're not using any of this leather, so we may as well turn it into something useful that we can then go ahead and sell, because this is netting us 958 silver, and we can also go ahead and sell them 1 beer just to make sure that we get as much as we possibly can. I mean, we could probably sell them 2, go a little bit over and call that good. They unfortunately don't have anything that I care about, which is a shame. I'm really hoping for a trader soon that either has gold, plasteel, or the other thing that we need, which is just a whole bunch of components, or Nutrimine, however you say that, so that we can actually start making some medicine. But for now, that is going to be fine. We're going to get a little bit of reputation with them. I am okay with that. We could potentially also continue trading with them and potentially see how much gifting them beer will actually get us in reputation. They're currently researching, so they're not going to stop doing that. Let's go ahead and trade. If we go ahead and jump into gift mode and we say give you all of our beer, which is 171, which is definitely not something I want to do, that'll get us 31 rep. I don't think that's worth it. I'm going to say, sorry, I know I tempted you. I also didn't see what research we just completed. Sterile materials. We should actually go ahead and install some of that. Let's do that now. Floors and sterile tiles is silver and steel. Silver we have plenty of. Steel we have plenty of. And I would like that to be in here at the very least. That's going to cost us almost 2,000 silver, which is a bit rough. 444 steel. But I would like it in there. And then I'm going to do the same. Well, this is probably fine. That's clean. Do we get a bonus for it being extra clean? Yes. Okay, so that probably is worth it then. Let's get it in there as well. That's going to be another 1,200 silver. And then I would like it in the kitchen as well. That's going to be so much silver. We're going to be broke, but that is what it is. Let's start with those and come back once they're done with that. And as everyone gets out of bed, let's go ahead and start a new Pulse of the Clan. This is going to be 86%. A little bit less because we don't have 10 participants. A little bit less because we don't have 6 active loudspeakers. The reason I haven't built all of those yet is because they do require components. But room impressiveness is 120 out of 120. So this is 86% of chance of being pretty good. And hopefully it is. Let's see. Fun Pulse of the Clan. Absolutely fantastic. Plus 8 mood for everyone. And we get 10 goodwill with the Wege Alliance. How are we doing with the Wege Alliance? We're getting a decent amount of goodwill with them. They're currently at minus 70. Not too bad. Not too bad. We do have medical treatment needed on Nanan. Why? Muscle parasites. That makes sense. I forgot about the muscle parasites. Everyone's mood's been so good that we don't have to worry about it too much. And our first trade ship is passing by. Let's go in here, grab Layfield, say, please continue sleeping for a little bit, and then call the combat supplier and see what we can't get from them. I mean, we can sell a lot. Whether or not we want to is a different question. Let's see what they've got. They've got components. They've got medicine. Absolutely. That is already going to take us down to only getting 1,100 from this. Let's just zero these out for a little bit. I don't care about this seed, so I'm definitely going to sell that. That'll cost us 1,000 so far. They have a tech print for jump packs. I'm not going to do that just yet. I don't feel like we're quite rich enough. I would love at least one more reinforced barrel. I probably should get more, but I'm just going to stick with the one for now. And then in terms of other things that you've got marine armor, but again, that's so damn expensive. I think that's all we're going to grab for now. We could afford that, but I will sell them a little bit of our beer. Let's say half of our beer, so minus 75 of that, and like half of our Psychite Tea. I don't think Psychite Tea is as good to sell, but, you know, we're going to make... We're not actually going to make money from this, but we will get some medicine and some components, which are dearly, dearly needed. They will land right here around our targeting spot. Absolutely fantastic. Let's go ahead and pick up some of these steel slag chunks. Are there any others around? Yeah, there's a couple. Let's go ahead and haul those, just because I don't want them laying around my base, mostly. "37 guinea pigs are currently coming for us." That is so many guinea pigs. Let's get everyone in the safe zone. I'm gonna wait a second while they figure out where they actually want to go, and then I will go ahead and draft everyone. And let's go ahead and mow down these guinea pigs. Miranda is potentially in trouble out there. Miranda, is there anywhere safe in here? No. No, there is not. Miranda, you might want to hurry up. Why are you so slow? You have gutworms, don't you? You absolutely have. Nope, you have asthma. You have no left leg. Okay, I did not realize that. I don't know what happened to your left leg. But you have 23% moving, so that's not great. Thankfully, it looks like these guys are mostly attacking here, and no one's running around the other side, so that's good. These guys are still down here, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. But these guys are getting quite close. Dragon, I would like you to stand here so that you can melee block while everyone else shoots. You three move over a little bit if you can. Okay, Layfield, go there. Can someone go here? Really? Oh, I know why. It's because that's Miranda's spot. Miranda, you can be undrafted. You're struggling enough as it is. We need to get you a new leg. Let's get you moved to there and then you move to there. And we should be able to deal with these guys with Dragon in the front line. Thankfully, they all funnel into this direction, so it sort of works out for us. That is all of them dealt with, but we still have all of these guys down here. And they seem to just be spreading out a little bit. Oh, maybe they're coming. Maybe they're coming in. Okay, slowly but surely they are working their way towards us. There we go. So this should just take a little bit longer and then everyone should be fine. Once they're all dealt with, we'll go ahead and undraft and make sure everyone is allowed back into the regular areas and clean up this mess of guinea pigs. We've absolutely just slaughtered. Everyone can get undrafted. I will go ahead and say everyone is now unrestricted. Fantastic. Guinea pig meat, anyone? Alright, we have an infestation in our caves. I think we'll be okay. We'll draft everyone and just see how this goes. Okay, they're in here as well. That is actually a little bit more scary than I thought. For now, everyone come out here. Dragon, hold this door. Get everyone in as close as we possibly can. You stand back a little bit so that we have at least a decent line of sight. Slow the game down a little bit. And this is not the ideal spot to be melee blocking, but wow, you just got straight through, didn't you? But it'll work. It should work. We should be okay. I don't know how that one snuck through so easily. That is a little bit concerning to me, but it looks like we are holding the rest of the line pretty well. One to go. Oh, one to go now. And they are all down. Let's get everyone in here real quick. And take that down, and then I will also shoot the rest of these guys that are still alive. Come out here and take these down as well. I don't believe there are any enemies left on the map, so that should be it. That is all done. Cleaned up. Insects are so much less scary without combat extended, I must say. Everyone can now be undrafted and go about your days. Dragon took a little bit of damage there, but honestly, not too bad. Not too bad at all. Let's have a quick look at, who was it? Miranda. Miranda and the Missing Leg. Operations. We can, for the moment, install a wooden leg. I mean, yeah, there's not much else we can do, so I think that's going to at least make it a little bit better. Left leg. Install peg leg, left leg, please. Let's go ahead and do that as soon as possible because I don't want you stuck out there doing random things and getting attacked by random enemies. So where are you? Miranda, you are officially resting. Let's go ahead and get our best surgeon on the job, prioritize that operation. Apparently we're using herbal medicine even though we do have regular medicine available. Why that is the case, I don't know, but sure. Marchment seems to have done a decent job. So you now have 0 moving, but you do have a peg leg. The only reason you have 0 moving is because you are sedated. That will last for 2 days and should hopefully be okay. These sterile floors are going okay. They are making these rooms ugly, but they should, in theory, be making them cleaner. This one is clean 0.27, even though it is still a little bit dirty. 0.32, and the laboratory really hasn't even been started yet. For now, I think that is where I will leave our... Oh, Miranda is no longer incapable of walking. How is your moving? 23%, but that is still because you are woozy. Okay, we'll check on you in the next episode. I was saying that is where I'm going to leave this episode, on a successful operation. If you guys are enjoying the series, make sure to go ahead and leave a like and a comment for the sake of engagement. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Consider becoming a Golden Panda member or above if you would like your name in the game, or just become a regular member to get early access to all of these videos. But until next time, happy building, happy surviving. Bye, guys.